Welcome back to the show. Excited, of course, to be joined by ACC Network, ESPN star, Taylor Tannebaum.
Am I in my SMU red?
Yeah. You fit in perfectly.
Hello.
Yeah. So, perfect timing for us to have you on. You guys spent a ton of time this morning breaking down Rhett Lashlee's college football playoff plan. It's funny, Eli Drinkowitz and him were on the staff together at Auburn, both coming out with interesting ideas around the college football playoff. With conference championship games, maybe losing a little bit of luster, especially if you're the favorite going in. Something to be talked about. But what's your take on Rhett's plan there?
So Rhett threw it out there yesterday, right, to the media. And then we sat and talked about it a little while longer, and we consulted with him about it via the phone and kind of everything it was about. And we all looked at each other. Eric McLean, first and foremost, leading the charge this morning in our conversation.
SMU guy, let's not lie now.
When you really sit and think about it, it's awesome. Like, the idea is there. It's just about getting people on board and obviously the little things that you'd have to tweak for it. But it's fun. It's engaging. It's more opportunity. It's more money for everybody involved, which everybody knows they like more money. And I really think that it could be successful. So what the 4-4-4-3-1 format is what we're calling it. I don't know. The Rhett and Eli format is what we're calling it. But when you have an SEC coach and an ACC coach both believing the same thing, that might be a good thing. And what I really like about it is you have the people on the field who are in the thick of the game figuring it out. They're the ones who are in the trenches week in and week out. And as great as committees are, they're doing the best that they possibly can. Sometimes it's not the people who are really engulfed in what's actually going on. So that's what I really like about it is you have these head coaches who are busy enough already trying to be innovative for the greater good of the sport. So we'll see what happens. We spent a lot of time on it, and I hope that social media picks it up because I think there could be some great conversation around it.
I do want to ask you quickly before we'll go general ACC, SMU.
Yeah.
Jimbo Fisher joining the huddle.
Yeah.
Speaking of social media picking things up, I think that is brilliant.
Yeah, so that was really a surprise to all of us. This was kind of happening under wraps, and then the bosses finally told us about it. But I'm excited, obviously, as a Florida State girl. He helped win the team a national championship a little over a decade ago, which was awesome. You know, he knows ball. There's one thing about Jimbo Fisher. He knows football, and he's going to be a ton of fun to pick his brain and just learn, just have a new voice. And especially we're going to the marquee game now every single week. We're not tied to the 8 p.m. primetime game. We will go to whatever the best game for the ACC is that week. We're going to be there, so I guarantee you we'll be at SMU a time or two or following the team at least. But he's going to be really fun to work with. And we'll see how much, we have a 2-hour show, plenty of time to fill. Perfect person to put in that role is Jimbo Fisher. Yeah.
And you hinted at it there. You talked about maybe the ACC and SEC finding some common ground about the college football playoff format. There will not be any common ground found in Clemson, South Carolina in week 1 when they take on the LSU Tigers. How excited are you for that matchup, but also the first 3 weeks that are announced?
The only thing common is that they both use the term Death Valley. That's about the only thing common.
About time they settled it.
I am so excited for this matchup because this is, first of all, the way that it should be. And this league really does a great job at scheduling week 1, week 2 matchups that you're going to be excited about and looking forward to. Now you got to win it. These are 2 of the best teams in the country, in Clemson and LSU. 2 of the best quarterbacks in the country, and Garrett Nussmeier and Cade Klubnik for the Tigers. This is all you can ask for opening weekend of college football. And for Clemson, this is a team that people are giving them all the hype in the world, including me. And I'm sure you guys are saying the same thing, and for good reason. They showed some stuff making it to a CFP last year. I thought their game against Texas was arguably the most competitive game of all the college football playoff games, actually, even though they didn't come out on the winning end. They're only going to be better for that. Like, that was a team that was, pretty good and still made it to a playoff. This is a team that's really good, and there's high expectations. You have to start it off on a good note when it's in your house, especially. And I think that they will. I think new DC, Tom Allen, coming in will change the vibe. That was their one Achilles heel last year, was the defense and the way that they kind of faltered. They allowed everybody to run all over them. I don't think that'll be the case anymore. I do have questions at running back, but that will be answered. I think Cade Klubnik and this team really ready to step up to the plate.
Yeah, and looking at the rest of the ACC, just in general, who are some teams that are not being talked about enough during media days?
I love this question because I do feel like the top is more stacked than it's been in years past. I would say Clemson, SMU, Miami, Louisville. Those are like your top 4. And then I would put a Georgia Tech in there. We'll talk about them here on ACC Network because we know how good Brent Key is and his quarterback in Haynes King and the running back in Jamal Haynes. We know the dynamic of that team and that on any given Saturday, they can beat you. I don't know nationally that they'll get as much attention, but they have a chance to. Week 1, Friday night at Colorado, put a lot of people on notice. They sort of did last year in Ireland when they knocked off Florida State. Georgia Tech is one. I still, even though I put Louisville in that upper echelon, people sometimes forget about them. I don't know if it's because Midwest flyover kind of thing. Do not sleep on them. You have another gunslinger at quarterback in Miller Moss in that scheme. That's scary. Another one I would say would be an NC State team that did not live up to expectation last year at all. We gassed them up all year, made us look silly. No. Dave Dorn would be the first to be upset about the way last year went. But maybe it's a good thing they're not in the spotlight. And I think CJ Bailey showed some stuff last year being thrown into the fire. 1 year older, 1 year wiser. He can be a legit quarterback if he can come into form. So that's another one I'd put on the list.
And I just wanted to add really quickly to your point about Georgia Tech. I think the outlook on them is completely different if they win against Georgia at the end of the regular season. Yeah. So
can you imagine?
I just think they are flying under the radar because of that game.
And they will continue.
And last question for us is you're a very popular person.
Am I?
On the radio row.
Okay.
But SMU, what's your outlook on them after spending, what seemed like a day up there? It was really felt like SMU day on Tuesday.
My outlook on them, and it will continue to be this until proven otherwise, is so positive. I love everything. And I'm not just saying that because that's a majority of the people who listen to this pod, but the vibes are so good and the recruiting is off the charts. I open up Twitter every day and there's a new 4 or 5-star that's committed, picking them over these other powerhouses around the country. I believe in everything Rhett Lashlee does. I think keeping Scott Simons as your defensive coordinator was the biggest get of the offseason, honestly, because I know there were a lot of people trying to poach him for a head coaching gig, and that defense is a top 25 defense year after year. Kevin Jennings, it's been so fun to watch his evolution, not just as a player, but like in front of the mic, right? He's a quiet kid. So to get to see him kind of come out of his shell, we had fun with him yesterday. This team and this program is a force to be reckoned with. And I really believe this year that they should and can be in the running every single year in this league. And I believe this year is no different.
Awesome. Tannebaum, thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much.
We'll see you this fall.
I love hanging out with you guys. See you soon.